Are you ready for the most gothic coffee and tea bar of my life? Because I am. Welcome to the black hole of my kitchen area, aka what is going to be the coffee bar, aka something that has been a long time coming, legitimately. Have gathered the items for a while and just been like, well, since tax return season, okay, had to order, they had to come in, all the things, and you were trying, like with everything else, to really carefully curate everything and make it a very usable space. But I feel like, not to like, well, I mean, we'll see how it turns out, but I feel like this is going to be a coffee bar that you've never seen before in your life, okay? Not your typical coffee bar. I feel like that should be all of my videos, not your typical insert whatever it is. Maybe don't insert it. Maybe that's too, whoa. Anyway, let's take this off because that's not going to stay there. I feel like it's ruining the vibe. I do like this towel, but not for there. So yeah, we want this to be a coffee and tea bar. It's a his and her situation. I do drink tea, but he's more of the hot tea drinker. I need to get on it, but I've made some coffee every day. And I wanted it to be a little bit more gothic and also like, I mean, just for the rest of the house, like it's a black hole. Okay, we got to fill in the space. So I thought what we would do here is start showing you all the goods, and then we'll get them up. And the first one, you can't have a coffee bar without some form of maketh of the coffee. I would say machine. You don't need a machine. I was doing French press for a while, but we treated ourselves to a fancy coffee machine. Well, let's bring it in. Got us a fancy little coffee machine. It is the Ninja. It does like 4 things, right? I'll be honest, I don't know how to use it. He makes me coffee every day. That will change. I need to learn how to use it. But I'm really excited because it is a step away from French press. That's what I've been doing for a very long time. But I'm excited for a number of reasons. We'll be able to do lattes, clearly espressos, frothy businesses for all the things. We could do it with, I'm gonna guess, hot cocoa even, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So many opportunities. So a little fancy business, and we got a discount on her, and she is the main event. We're going to put that in that corner. All right, there she is in the corner. I'll give you all the fancy details, just the look at it. But can't have a coffee and tea bar without the thing to make the tea. So we also got fancy electric hot water kettle. So we're going to put that over here. Let me now show you kind of what we got. Here's the gist. We've got the haunted homeware. We've got some cool fancy boxes. I've got some other stuff, really fancy frames. So let me show you all the goods. We'll back up. Let's open these first because we need some things to put, well, starting with these, to put our coffee in. I do have mugs. I have downgraded the mugs. You may have noticed. Actually, you wouldn't have noticed. You're not in my shelves. That's creepy. Okay, so these, I have 2 coffee mugs. I didn't buy it direct from Killstar. When I did the Phantasmagoria order, I did mention that we got a number of other things. These are those things. So I never got around to getting them from Killstar when they were on their site, but they were still on Phantasmagoria. So I did order them. And first one is this cranium mug. You got it, right? I also wanted to pull in a nice white and just like, you'll see the different, basically I wanted it to like really contrast and I want to rotate between the mugs. So I do have these 2 cauldron mugs. So you'll see where the mugs are going. So there's those. They got a little black, a little white. It's just a decent sized mug too. And then the other one, look at this box. Is that not gorgeous? It's from the brand Restyle. Can I just say right now, if it weren't so pricey shipping wise, there is an entire Cathedral line at Restyle that I want all of it. All of it, from corsets to dresses to sheer tops. Like, it's just a gorgeous. I did see, I think it was Disturbia came out with a line that was kind of Cathedral vibe, but it just didn't compare to the Restyle. I don't mean to knock them down, but it's just such a good line. I have seen that Amazon is adding some Restyle stuff, so maybe when it's not new, it's not there, so I'll check it out. But shout out to the brand because they have a lot of cool things, and I saw this mug and I wanted it so bad, especially after getting that one from Disturbia that I showed you that I felt like looked like moldy gingerbread. I don't know. Maybe that's really cruel of me to say. What is this one called? I forget. It was like, I don't know. Maybe it's like succubus something, but it is kind of cathedral, kind of bat vibes. So you got like the bat wing. See you later. Going up the stairs here. Look at this. slow-moving creature. Okay. So, yeah, I really like the handle. It gets the bat vibes, but then I really liked these kind of cathedral window vibes. I forget, there's a word for this. Literally has something from Black and Teeth that is this shape, and it's not coming to my brain, but it is a smaller size mug. I feel like I'd probably use it more for tea than anything. But it's also like not compromising in the whole, like, remember when I said I'm not doing any weird shapes anymore for mugs because I just don't drink out of them? It's still a nice like round shape up here, even though it has a little bit of like squareness to it. I drink out of it, that's all I'm saying. So that's the only other like new mug. Okay, now for this other piece. This is not a mug, but I did also get it from Phantasmagoria because it's not on Killstar's site, but it is a shelf because I wanted to have like not too many shelves. I think we just have 2 to show you, but something to put something on. So one thing I didn't mention, and this is kind of maybe not the first piece, I'd say the other mug, is we were going for a specific theme. So, I mean, we kind of have just a general gothic vibe in the house overall, but what is more gothic than a cathedral? So that is the theme that we were going with, is just like a cathedral. What would go with that? Like, yeah, that is it. And what else goes with it other than my words are not coming together? The way she comes down the stairs is really cute. So I might have paid a little extra shipping from Phantasmagoria just to get these things, but like, excuse me. What is the first thing that you think of when you think of a cathedral? Because I know for me, I think of gargoyles. I cannot have a gothic, or as we mentioned before, like a gothic revival inspired space without some gargoyles. I would like to up the gargoyles. And this piece was on Killstar, but I got it there. And it's a gargoyle shelf. It's called like Notra something shelf. So you might be able to tell it's a smaller shelf, but she's a statement piece. Look at this guy. How freaking cool. It's so detailed. I was quite nervous even as I was unpacking it because there's so many little pieces that could just break off, and styrofoam. And then like, look at his fingers. So we won't be displaying a lot, but it really is like its own display piece. There's our hooks, says haunted homeware back there. Got a nice little butt shot, you know what I'm saying? He is really cool. So that's one of 2 shelves. Let's get the other one. All right, here is our other shelf. So this is a little bit bigger, but I didn't want to go too big because we have 2 very significant sized pieces that are going to go on this wall. Because the other shelf has like so much going on, I wanted something that felt like it would fit into a gothic vibe, but was a little bit simpler, classy. And this is what I got. So she's a proper wood piece, but I just like the back of it there. I feel like this almost read like a skull a little bit, but I like the kind of almost like, I guess it's not really floral look, but it's a decent sized shelf. Like we'll be able to put some stuff, not super wide or anything, but so maybe when we're like theming stuff like for Halloween or Christmas, it gives me a space to do that with. So there is that. Got the hooks on the back. That will be going up there. And I know for sure where it's going. It's going to go in this vicinity. And then I was trying to think of like, what are all the things that we use or would want to use, especially now that like we've got this fancy coffee machine. What are some things kind of to go with that to help us make what we want to make or just generally make coffee or tea? And I have been wanting something to hold my syrups for a while and just to have syrups and it look a little fancier. So I got this set of 4. It does come in a little base. And we are right now going to fill it up because it also comes with labels and we're going to put those on too. So let's do that. All right. Here are our little syrups. And then the other thing, so I got these off of Amazon, by the way. The other thing they came with are these labels. So we've got French vanilla. I just bought a little, I was going to say trio, a quadruple. Classic hazelnut, caramel, and vanilla. And I think, do I have everything? Here, let's get it back out of the way. I feel like the easiest thing would be putting the labels on first. We've got caramel, French vanilla. Probably should have checked this first. Hazelnut, and then do we just have regular vanilla? Sugar-free, there it is. Okay. So I think it's probably wiser to put these on first. So let me do that real quick. It's probably going to stress me out, so I'll do it off camera because I want it to line up exactly. Okay. Perfection. All right, you guys, we did it. So here is our moonshot caramel, French vanilla. And here's what the kind of gets liquor vibes a little bit. Hazelnut, like a liquor label. I don't know. And then our vanilla. Now I'm going to take them off one by one because I don't want to pour it over that. And do all of those. Now for the really tricky part. BRB after I get this done. Okay, here's our last one. I thought I'd move them around, but now looking at it, they all have like kind of variation in color. I didn't realize the French vanilla is kind of a little lighter, so I think the rotation looks pretty good. But there we are. I like it because I like the aesthetic, but I also like that it's just right here and easy to use. So, you know, we want functionality and aesthetic coexisting. Okay, then I brought some pieces kind of like in the last video with the shelves. I was going through all of my stuff and I set aside some things that I think might work here. Some for sure will. So this sucker, which we got at Howell's, it is, I don't remember, I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon. I actually don't know the brand. But it's this like coffin-shaped skull situation, but it's a container. So I had the idea that his tea bags could go in here and it can just like rest over there. Easy access, feel really pretty, cute. I don't know. I think Gothic is cute. So I'm just gonna put that up. We'll finagle with everything after, because we have some things to get on the walls. And then I got this cutie. Did used to be over here, if you remember. There are a pair of these. They're actually bookends. So hence why that side is flat. Also got it at Powell's, but it is on Amazon. I think if you search like Corvus bookends, you'll find it. They are really nice quality. They have the nice like blue hue that you would see on a raven, and pretty heavy too. But I like using them for decor too, because you don't have to use things as they are. And if you hide the back, then it's clear it's not clear that it's a bookend. So we'll see. Maybe we don't use it. Maybe we do. And I might pull some other pieces when it gets to like, when we get the bookshelf up that actually has room. So there's that. And then we had two of these. So these are from, I think, Michael's. And I'm pretty sure they brought it back last year. It's just a hanging bat. And I like that we got a little bit of brown. So we got the wood at the top that it's hanging from. We got some twine here, but just as like a little filler piece, because we're going to have some pretty significant sized pieces going on that wall. And then we'll get to that in a second, but you might remember this from the favorites video. Got a little ghost situation. Might go on the shelf. Not sure, but I'm just kind of pulling it out just to like, it could be something to play with. It's going to go up somewhere in this, on this floor for sure. And then the other thing that we got is in this little tissue right here. So I was trying to come up with a way to like display my mugs. I didn't want your typical mug shelf. Like a lot of them, they felt too kind of country, or I forget the word. What do they call that word? What do they call that word? What do they call that style? Farmhouse. Yeah, a lot of the ones that I saw were very farmhouse-esque, and obviously we're going for like a cathedral vibe. So I got the idea of what I want to do, and it meant getting hooks. And these were the best that we can find because I really wanted to pull in some cast iron. These are cast iron hooks. They're pretty simple. We could have gone a little fancier, but because everything else that's going to be on the wall is quite fancy, I wanted it to sort of blend in with the wall. So you'll see once it's up. But we have more than 5, but we'll hang up 5 because they're going to be holding my mugs on the wall. I'm excited for that. And then the last like new piece for the top here, and then we're going to get into the biggest, the crescendo of it all for the wall, is actually a piece I've been aware of for a while now, because I know, you know, back when I was doing a lot more sort of Harry Potter content, focused content, it was on my radar because a lot of people would use this as a background, but I feel like, and I think most people I saw opted for the gold version. I think there's like 3 different versions. And let me tell you, this is probably the one and only time I'm ordering from QVC, but that's where this is from. And it is this like cathedral mirror. So here it is. I opted, like I said, for the silver one, but it's got that like classic cathedral window vibe, but it's a mirror. And here down, can I do it? She folds out. So it's going to go on the top. I basically wanted to give a little bit of height kind of in the T area. So you'll see when we put all that out, but I wanted to like show you all the items. Excuse me, before we get it up. Okay, we might need to back up for these pieces. Okay, they are not small. Which one do we start with? So basically we have 2 prints that are going to be going on this wall. They are not small in size. They're going to take up a good chunk, and especially the frames that they are in. And we did splurge on these frames. Thank you to those of you who support me on Mercari. I know I say this again and again, and I say it especially every time when I literally move funds from there because of your support, to be able to cover things. And these were frames that I knew, like, I wanted a significant upgrade over here, and I wanted it to feel really gothic and like a statement piece. And we'll talk about more of the future of this space and how it's going to blend in. But it just makes the prints look so cool. So let's start. We got 2. Okay, here we go. Without further ado, I love the frame and I love the print inside. Oh my God. What? Right now. So this is, I'll get closer so you can see the actual print, but the frame is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. There's so much like, okay, let's get closer so I can just talk about it. But like, look at the edging. So I liked a number of things. We both liked a number of things about this frame. Like just how it has different dimensions to it in different areas. And each section has like something different going on in the design. You can probably tell why she's expensive. And the other thing that I liked about it is it's kind of silver, but it has that like aged sort of beigey look going on in there, like a natural, like it's been sitting in a cathedral for a while sort of look. And then speaking of which, we have this print inside. I think it was called like Spires or something like that. It's more of like the outside of a cathedral. And it's got like this tiny little, just this person just gives it, this is really exhausting to hold, perspective and makes it like, you know, really grand. And I liked the kind of breath that is in this one because there's a lot of sky and fog and, you know, mystique about it that lets the frame speak even more, but I don't know. She's soft but strong, that one. That is frame 1. It's gonna be so pretty. I'm so excited. I've been so excited for this space for quite a while. Before I even had everything picked out, honestly. So this print, honestly, I think this print is what we drew off of to decide the cathedral focus. As soon as I saw it, yeah, everything just kind of like went together and created that theme on its own. I mean, I just gravitate towards that stuff anyway. And the other thing, I'm just going to show you. Okay, she's gorgeous. All right. Here is the next frame. I told you you can't have, or I can't have anything kind of cathedral themed without a gargoyle. So the print, we've got a gargoyle. You notice I went with 2 prints that have a lot of like, when I say breath, I mean like just space that gives the thing more focus, more of a silhouette. You notice it. And I feel like it just makes it more grand. So when I saw this, I had to have that print, but also really, really had to have this frame. This particular Etsy seller had a lot of frame options. So even if you like this style, I'll give you a little close-up of it. They had it in like different colors, and this is nice quality. This is actual wood. It's stunning. And we've been trying to, because we've been getting it in a number of other prints for other places, to correlate frames with like what is like speaking in this print, both in color and like just what's happening, you know, what would really work with it. And we both felt like this one works with it, both in the design up here, but also the colors. So we're bringing more wood colors in, but also because it's like a coffee, and tea bar area. First off, it's going with the rest of the house in what I've been talking about as far as like bringing in other metallics and wood colors. But I like these especially because I feel like they read the colors of coffee and tea. I think brown often when I think of both of them. So you're getting that in both here. And then a little bit of that, like I said, the aged look in the other one. How freaking stunning is this? Now let me give you the rundown of where everything is going to go. You don't need to watch us, like, you know, I don't think we're hammering. We're probably screwing. Anyway, let me just give you an idea of where the placement of things. So we have a pretty big space to work with, hence the really big frames. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't realize they were going to take up that much space, but I'm going to trust in him that it's all going to look good. But essentially, we are going to take this frame. I'm going to hold it up. The placement's not going to be exactly the same. Sorry, this shelf. We're going to take this shelf. It's going to go somewhere in this vicinity. So come with me here so you can see. Kind of somewhere, probably, I don't know, somewhere over here. And then we're going to take that, since this shelf has kind of like a V shape a little bit, we're going to take those hooks and we're going to have two, like all five. So you can see two on either side and one down the middle. So the mugs are going to hang underneath in like a V shape. So that's going to be that area. And then we'll get the mirror up on the actual table, but the frames themselves, let me back up one more. So above the shelf, we'll have to figure out just how high because we want to be able to put things on the shelf, but yeah, we'll have to sort that out. It's going to be, oh God, okay. Oh my God, I'm so nervous when that's up. It's so heavy. It's going to be the spires, the lighter colored frame is going to be over here. And then the gargoyle frame, if I'm remembering right, are we going to have that lower or higher than the other? It would be lower. Yeah. So then the gargoyle frame is going to be over here. Haven't quite figured out where the gargoyle shelf is going to be. And I also might like just mess around with some of the Black and Teeth stuff that we have already. And if there's anything I want to put up, might test that out. So now we are going to go hang up those frames and those shelves and we'll be right back and show you what it looks like. Are you ready? I'm not sure you are, but just done-ish. It is done for now, and you're just getting a little glimpse, but let me just like back out the frame. It is like 9 p.m., but I'm really excited. I'm hungry, but I'm really excited. It's like everything, it's like the last video, doing the shelves. Things always look better, I think, once they're up, because in your brain, the details only come out so much, and actually seeing them in real life, it's pretty cool. Let me get the heck out of the way. Here's what we have so far. We actually got a little guy cut off up there, so we'll give you the whole picture. So come with me. Look at it, you guys. Honestly, I feel like I haven't been able to enjoy it because we just finished. It's a lot more work than, and I didn't do all this work at all. Okay, so here's what we've got, and then I will tell you like the full plan in general because this isn't done. The whole house isn't done. I mean, you know, the living room isn't done. Every space has got more to grow. So over here we have that gorgeous frame with the outside of a cathedral. Let me give you like more of a close-up. Look how pretty this frame is and how it just pops off of that deep gray. And then over on that side, so you might notice like we've got our two main centerpieces. There'll be more going on in a moment. And then up in the top we have a little bat. I have another one of those bats, like I mentioned when I showed it to you. But we hung it up there, and well, I'll get to what we're going to do with the space because that might not stay, but for now. And then up here, can I reach it? We have the mask that I showed you in the favorites video. And then we have our gargoyle. I'm so tired, I forgot. Our gargoyle shelf. Look at this guy. Sorry if I'm shaking. I'm not this tall. And then our gargoyle. So this was like the print that I wanted the most. That really made the space what it is. I think both of them play off of each other. Kind of the whole point. So we've got the nice brown. And then, yeah, you're just seeing my lights in the background, but I just wanted to show you, look how detailed this frame is. She's gorgeous. I've never owned anything so gorgeous until now. And then, so for now, I did just grab this plant off of, if you remember in the kitchen, in the buffet, I had a plant over there. That was this one. I'm just kind of like put it in a space for right now because I'm going to have a plant there. But this is the
pretty shelf. She was not so easy. We'll say the screws that came with it were not suitable for it. But luckily we had some, and he has more patience than me. But here it is. You can see like the detail of it a good bit more, and then just filled it on the top. So this is like a little incense holder. It's been kind of tucked away in my kitchen for a while, and then it ended up being just in a drawer. So it's nice to see that out, like one of the cone incense. It kind of comes through the top there, and I like bringing in that more brassy goldy color. Then I have these books here. I forget, I think these are from Witch's Moon. I can't remember. And then this teacup. So this teacup is from Michael's, and I really like it. It's got like a nice little gold trim. It's a black teacup, and then it has the bat on the inside. But it is clearly not made for drinking, so I like the idea of kind of having it leaned up there, because this is a coffee and tea bar, so it kind of speaks to what the area is too. So it's more of a decorative situation. And then got a candle in here. Probably won't burn it right there, but... and then I brought down some, these are more, what is it called? Like tumbled crystals. And then we have the other Dark Moon Apothecary candle. I think we brought one out in the bookshelves in the living room. This one is amethyst. Here's like, she smells so good. So we'll have a crystal amethyst. Once we're done burning that one, I have another one on the other side. And then for the actual coffee mugs, so I've got my Anthropology one. This is World Market Cauldron. I've got another cauldron. And then the two that I showed you here. And this is one that I use quite a lot. I think, where the heck was this from? Oh yeah, Williams-Sonoma. If they bring that line back, I might be tempted to get a couple, not the mug, I only need one, but a couple other things. And then for our actual coffee area, let me just give you coffee and tea. So this is the tea section. What did you call this section? The reliquary, because she is full of relics. So here's a quick little pan. We got the tea area. We've got the like cathedral mirror area. And then we have our coffee area. So moving over to the tea, we got this situation on Amazon, I'm pretty sure. Did you get these little things on Amazon too, Manny? Yeah. So what this is for, oh lordy, I forgot it's like pretty pressurized, for his sugar cubes. So he can just take one of these and boop into the tea as she drops it. Smooth criminal here. It sits quite snug in there. So that's cute. And then, like I showed you, we have this one here. So it's got his sachets of tea bags. And then this was upstairs. It's got some things inside that I need to take out. They're little DIY projects, but I think I got this at Michael's. No, I know I did. Michael's Halloween time. But yeah, it's a little like, that little bit comes up. But I like the idea of blocking the mirror just a little bit. And then this guy, if you remember, we got from Phantasmagoria, which was from Killstar. And then I got a candle to go inside there. That one we could actually burn, so that'll be kind of cool when it starts dripping. I'm going to let it just drip and you'll see the nice white. But depending on our theme, we can do a different color. So excited by that. And then I'll probably get like a fancier napkin, methinks. But this tray, if you remember, this tray was featured it in the like furniture living room area. As it turns out, when we set it on the ottoman, it kind of left indentations. They did come up, but I think over time, if we just keep leaving it there, they'll not come up. So it's going to be here. And this is where I'm going to have my coffee and put my sugar on it. This I've already had. I got it from Amazon ages ago. It reminds me of an urn, but it's got my sugar in it. And then, of course, we have all of the syrups, vanilla, hazelnut, French vanilla, and caramel. So cool. And then, of course, our coffee machine. So what do you all think? And now, quickly, just ideas on what's going to happen here. So, ideas, because, like I said, this isn't a finished space. And same for over there. And my thought process, or our thought process, is we're just going to fill up all the spaces. So for this one especially, we have got the big pieces, but I plan on filling it in with a lot more smaller pieces that will carry over into the stairway. So it's going to actually go over the banister here and then up mind all the stuff that you'll probably see on the stairs, but up into the stairway. So it's going to be like a continuous, like nice flow of art. So that is one future project, but you know, finding art prints that you connect with and frames that you like that fit them is a process. We have moved a little quicker on that process for other areas, but everything else will take time. It's a curation. So that's part of that plan. And then I think eventually it'll probably fill in a little bit here, maybe something here. And then the bat that we have up there, it was his suggestion to use one of the cast iron hooks that we got because it came with a whole bunch more. So we hung the bat on it, but then I was like, that would be really cool because I want to get into some weaponry. And, you know, I mean, a sword for one, but anything that is nice and long. Oh, that could be, what are those whippy businesses? A flail. That would be cool. Something that has like, I'm not going to do leather, but a strap of some kind. So it's going to hang off of it and bring a little bit of like a vertical situation to fill in that space. That would be cool. So that's a future thing. Yeah, really, other than that, I guess, do you have any thoughts? I think other than that, we're just filling in the spaces. And what I really like about this, that's obviously quite different, other than the fact that it's darker and more gothic and we have the paint job, we'll keep saying that, is it, because the frames are so much bigger and they're bigger than I was planning on doing, they give so much more height to the space. And I really like that. I mean, we have some fairly high ceilings, not super high, but it makes everything feel grander. And I feel like if you're going to do more of a gothic revival kind of vibe, or anything cathedral themed, like there ain't no small cathedral, I don't think. I mean, it's not what I think of when I think of a cathedral. So it just gives so much more height to what is otherwise a very modern space. So I love it. Let me know what you think. It'll probably be a hot minute before we get to the wall in the living room. So more to come. I mean, halfway to Halloween is almost here. So that might be coming at your eyeballs soon. Getting prepped, getting some theme ideas. But let me know your thoughts. Until next time, bye.
That was natural, right? Oh, God. Put it out.